So I'm going to go up and paint on Selsley Common today. It's quite cold and misty, but up at the top of the common you get a beautiful view of over Gloucestershire into Wales. You can see the River Severn. It's one of my favourite spots to paint, so if you just follow me. Okay, so we're now in Penwood. There has been rumours about a giant cat. Could be a panther. That's been spotted around this area. So we need to watch out for that as well. I guess I've got my easel to try and use as a sword. My palette as a shield, so who knows, maybe we'd be better prepared than you might think. I'm just going to try and find somewhere which is slightly sheltered, but we still get this view. So yeah, I'm just going to try and climb up here, and yeah, I think that should be a nice place to paint. I think the light's changed in our favour. You can certainly see a lot more, there's more contrast in the scene. We can't really see the River Severn from here in this light conditions. Now quite hot after that, a bit of exercise, but it will get cold when you're painting. You stand still. Sometimes you forget just how cold it can be until the moment your fingers kind of stop to move and your toes freeze up. And this is what I use pretty much everywhere I go when I paint on location. Easy to transport. I've got my board here, so it's just a gesso primed panel. I've toned it with a thin layer of raw umber just to give it a sort of neutral, warmish colour, so that when I paint I don't have to compete so much with the white of the canvas. I'm going to go with a landscape setup.
I start by painting the sky. This is the lightest area of the scene. So once I've painted this, I can check the other values of areas in the painting and compare them to the sky. When painting outdoors, I like to paint the areas in the distance first, and then work my way to the foreground. The trees on the hill are the darkest area in the painting. I don't have black on my palette when I paint on plein air, because there's a tendency to use black to make areas darker, which often results in making the painting look dull. I like to find colour and variety in the shadows and dark areas. This dark area of trees on the hill creates a dramatic contrast between the distant land, which is lost into the mist. This contributes to the sense of depth in the scene. Even though the thick mist is preventing us from getting a good view of the River Severn, it does create a cool atmospheric effect. On a really clear day, you can actually see the Black Mountains in Wales. I find there is something very timeless about the surrounding landscape. You can imagine locals from the area hundreds or thousands of years ago. If they could see it today, they'd still recognise it, unlike many towns and cities, which have changed drastically. I'm sketching in the dividing hedges between the fields. Although I'm not being massively accurate, because I'm trying to work quickly, I am paying close attention to the angles of the hedges, as this will convey the form of the hill. I want to capture the iconic Cotswold landscape in the Selsley region of the Five Valleys. The town you see immediately at the bottom of the hill is King Stanley, and beyond that is Stonehouse. I've decided not to paint in the big telegraph poles in the foreground, as I don't think they add to the composition. I'm using a traditional artist's palette. This one was made by New Wave, and it's a really nice design. I know a lot of plein air artists like to paint with their palettes attached to the easel, but I'm quite used to holding my palette in my hand, so it's not really a problem. Although when it's really windy, sometimes it wants to fly away. Now I'm just refining smaller details of the painting and bringing more focus and definition to the foreground.
So I finished the painting. Thanks for watching the video. My hands are freezing. Subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I'll put a link in the description.